Good morning. Hope your day is off to a great start, that you're cozying in for a few last days home with your kids who are still on their break. Maybe you're gearing up for the new year and are hitting into the workplace with some New Year's resolutions to make 2022 your best year yet. Whatever you're doing this morning, we're so glad that you're making 3+U part of your day. It is a new year. It is a new start. Always that gets us looking ahead, but reflecting a little bit too on where we've been. So it's a great day for us to kick off the show talking to Maddie Waters, who is one of the many artists in town. Now she adds filmmaker to her name. And Emily Compton, who is with WTCI, has long been bringing stories to the television screen for us to enjoy. They've collaborated on a new project that you have a chance to go and see coming up January 12th at the Tivoli. So good to see you both.
Good to see you, Julie.
So
Thank you for having us.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you. So I'm going to kick things off actually to Maddie, because I guess in this whole conversation, your idea came first, then Emily jumped on with her team to tell the story in yet another way. But Maddie, you're part of the Pop-Up Project. And as you told me, for a number of years now, y'all have been bringing kind of immersive art experiences to the area. You're a dancer. You had collected all this money for a grand event, and then COVID hit, and you had a choice of, do we just let it all go, or do we, as they have been saying, pivot? So you pivoted, right?
Yes, Julie, we pivoted. We had about 3 months of saying, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And during that time, we said, we are sitting on these funds that we raised, and we still are working with these 27 artists, and performing arts wasn't happening. We didn't know when it was going to happen again. And we said, how can we safely adjust and still provide work for the artists in our area? And we thought, film. We can control how many people are in the room. We can be masked. We can get tested. We can space out. We had been doing short films for the last 5 years. So we thought, let's pivot to film. And then we thought, what is this going to be about? So we reached out to our dancers to say, do you have a story that you want to share with us?
So Emily, you come into play because you really got kind of lucky here. You had a mutual connection with somebody working on the project with Maddie and her partner Jules, right?
That's right. So Kevin Bate, who has been a friend of the station, was head of the visual art department for this film, and was like, hey, we have a really cool project we're working on here. You might be interested. So we called up Maddie and Jules, and originally this was going to be maybe like a 10-minute short documentary about their process. And as we kind of got into it, we realized their film was huge and the story was really exciting, and it kind of morphed into this 30-minute documentary that we're so proud of. Okay. That just kind of shows the making of this film.
So, which is great timing, because so many of us have just gotten through watching the Beatles documentary, and we're realizing the power and the fun of almost eavesdropping on something that you yourself were not a part of. And I'm guessing that that's part of what your documentary at WTCI will feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so cool for us personally just to kind of be flies on the wall for this process, and kind of being able to watch these artists be vulnerable with each other. And, as I was putting the story together, to me, it is a making of, and you kind of see the process, but it's also kind of tells a broader story about the resilience of the arts and the power of collaboration and the importance of community, I think, especially right now.
All right, so Maddie, let's bring you back in. First of all, I think you said 27 dancers. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, we have a company of 27 dancers, and we hired 54 artists for this film.
Wow. Okay, because, the arts in Chattanooga have become almost synonymous over the last several years. It's really part of our tourism too, I think, the attraction that people have in coming here. It just is embedded in everything that we do. But the power, I was watching some of the trailer that you provided, just the visual, not even getting into the performance that we're seeing and the words we're going to hear, but the artistry of the filmmaking was very impressive, Maddie.
Oh, thank you. Tim Cofield is our cinematographer and main editor. We love working with him. He does beautiful framing and he knows how to film dancers. We've been working with him now for 5 years, and he was filming dancers previous to working with us. And he himself has to choreograph his moves when he's filming us. And also, I mean, Chattanooga is such a gorgeous city. I mean, you're going to see the bamboo forest over at the Nature Center, Reflective Writing. We were over at Raccoon Mountain. And I mean, you're watching all of these different scenes, and it's going to look like we traveled all over the world, but we stayed here in Chattanooga for like 95% of the film to film.
I'm interested in the title. I like words, and I like that the words you chose to call this film are positive. You're spinning what had been a dark time into something that was positive, the light we share.
Yeah, film is all about light. We filmed the majority of our pieces were outside, and we were always chasing the light. So, sometimes we had 30 seconds to get it. Sometimes we had to wait in our car for 2 hours for the rain to pass, and then we realized the rain wasn't going to pass. And so we had to do it anyway. And there was a magical moment where they were dancing in the rain, and the clouds broke, and there was this beautiful sunset. And so we chose light because also this is about personal stories, about triumphs and about pain and suffering, and we all share that as humans. So we wanted to talk about, we all collectively have a story to tell. I'm not so good at explaining these things. I'm better at dancing. But
it's hard when you live something. It's hard when you live something to then know how to articulate it, I think, sometimes. But, the truth is we all have a story to tell no matter what time and decade we are in. That's just a human experience, that we all have a story to tell. But you and I, the three of us, were talking before we got on air that literature that we read in school, or if you go to a museum and you see a beautiful piece of art, history is told through artists' expressions. So we're all living this history currently, but it's going to be really interesting in the years to come to see how generations that follow us might look back on this and say, oh wow, this personalized it for me, these COVID years.
Yes, exactly.
So Emily, I know that WTCI, y'all have the great benefit of bringing, as we would call it, long format television to light. So I know right now you're focused on the event January 12th at the Tivoli. Can we hope that maybe in time we'll be able to see this again on WTCI?
That is the hope, Julie. We are really excited to be able to bring this to our viewers. Right now we're focused on our premiere screening, which we're really excited about. But, for WTCI, I think for us, the pandemic has given us almost an opportunity, as we saw, especially within the arts, as people weren't able to go to performances, like Maddie was saying, live performances weren't happening, and there was this void. We were able to partner with arts organizations in town to kind of bring that to the screen, right into their living rooms. So we see this as another great opportunity to partner with some of the amazing arts organizations that are in town, and to bring that right into your home.
I know you mentioned it was fun to be kind of the fly on the wall. I hope that when the premiere happens on the 12th of January, it'd be fun to be a fly on the wall again and hear what the audience is going to say, because I bet a lot of us are going to watch it and then go, oh, I had forgotten how I felt at this certain time. We've all kind of gotten ourselves conditioned these last 2.5 years. I bet we'll find some things come out in the film that make us feel things we had forgotten we felt.
Yeah, I think it really, it captures a moment in time that we all experienced together. And I think that's showcased really beautifully in both films, really. Okay,
Maddie, has this inspired you? Do you think you're going to do more of this kind of work? Are you loving now the filmmaking idea?
Oh man,
it
was such a beautifully painful process, and And we are so proud of this film. We are now at a place where we can really celebrate it, and I am so grateful. I think that I would totally jump at the opportunity to do this again. I'm so excited to see our community show up on the 12th and hear what they have to say. Of course, we all learn lessons. So I've, learned a lot of lessons in the past year about filmmaking that I would love to apply to the next time we get to do this. So yeah, I hope so. I hope we get the opportunity to do this again.
Well, thank you both for bringing your smiles to us this morning, and a huge congratulations on the job, obviously very well done on this film. Here's how you can go and see it. It is $15 to get in. You will have a chance to see not only the making of The Light We Share, but then the film itself, The Light We Share, all of that for $15. January 12th at the Tivoli. It begins at 7 o'clock that evening. And where do they go, by the way, to get the tickets?
You can get tickets at Ticketmaster or at the Tivoli box office. And if you go to the Tivoli's website, they'll have a link right there for you.
Okay. Thank you both so much.
Thank you so much.